Ms. Barton, or, I sympathize with you. I understand your concern, sorry. I mean, but it's, what happened. I mean, you're the probationary period, and then you go to a full active membership, and it's a cast ballot vote. I mean, it's simple majority. And if you don't reach the majority, you don't make it. I mean, it's.
Do you have a certain amount of the members have to be here for a vote?
Just enough to make a quorum. You can have, I think, 3 members. I think you can have a president of 3 members.
3 members can come and vote somebody out. What if all the rest of them that couldn't come that night? You should have more than just 3 members there. That way, if the 3 members show up and don't like me, so they're gonna vote me out, or they don't like my family, or somebody's done something to them. That's the way it is, that the people are discriminated against because of who they are. I don't think that's right.
I understand your concerns.
Keith, on that vote, you couldn't, if a fella say he was ill or sick that night, couldn't make it in, is it a possible way you maybe could call in and say, hey, I wanna cast my vote
No,
like this?
we don't
No
have that
proxy?
no proxies in the bylaws.
So, to me, myself, I don't see how just 3 members can vote. I mean, to me, it wouldn't feel like you would need more members to vote on this.
I understand what you're saying, and I mean, at that point, if you just had 3 members to show up, then, I mean, we have the meetings every first Tuesday in every month, unless we have to postpone it for some reason, do it with or whatever. But what we usually do is we'll at least try to get 2 or 3 people before down here and show up and make them, call the meeting to order and then adjourn it till another date and time. We have done that because the meetings have happened on the 4th of July, and we've actually come down here, met at the building, and had a meeting about 2 minutes long, and I make a motion to adjourn and reconvene this meeting the next day or whenever. We've done that before, but I mean, you have every first Tuesday every month at 7 p.m. at the squad building, you have a meeting for whoever shows up. I mean, it's a volunteer organization, so we can't force you to come here. I mean, if you've got other stuff you're doing, then, family time or whatever, then that's it. That's all part of being a volunteer organization.
So, like when you just have 3 members to vote, could you not say, we're gonna have this meeting, but we're gonna adjourn the voting to the next meeting to have more members present for voting?
As long as it is not in conflict with the bylaw, constitutional bylaws, you could do that. You could say, hey, we don't have but 3 people here, 4 people here, we can't, we really don't, we don't need to bring this stuff up at this time. We can table it till the next time.
Okay.
Or something. But as far as that, I mean, but if it's brought up, then it is what it is. You go forward with it.
Is it against the rules to ask how many was here for the voting the other day, voting the 2 kids off?
I mean, I'm sure it's public record as far as who was here and who wasn't.
I don't want to know who was here and who wasn't. I want to know how many members was here to vote them off.
I think we had like 19 eligible.
I think there was 18 voting to start with, and then I think one more. One passed out, one come on, and they made it 19. I don't know, can't remember the exact voting as far as, but you had 18 present when they started voting that was eligible to vote.
Wait a minute,
Every reason
wait a minute.
why. Majority?
It's a majority, yes.
18 was there, 1 got voted on, so that made it
Why they voted
19.
them off?
So, did he get the
That's
vote?
secret ballot. I don't have a reason. It's your freedom right to vote.
So why, he shouldn't be allowed to vote that night. It should have been tallied afterwards and see who all got on then. I mean, his vote shouldn't have counted that night.
What was your question?
You said there was 18, and then 1 got voted on, that made it 19. Did he vote that night?
Yes.
He had right to vote.
But how is that? Because any organization I deal with is you don't vote that night. You tally all the votes.
Once
and
you
who got
become-
on, and then you
Once
find
you
out.
become a full active member, you're allowed voting privileges.
So-
As long as you've been, I mean, if you've not been present at meetings or whatever, then you have to lay off one
So,
meeting.
so he got voted on, and then you tally the votes about for the other two. So that never even gave them a choice to even, did they get to vote on anything that night?
Probationary members are not allowed to vote.
So he found out he was a member, so then he got to vote. That just, to me, don't make sense. He shouldn't have been allowed to vote that night, because it should have been waited till all of the other 18 voted, then told who was appointed.
But,
As a
one-
member.
but remember, the votes are people that are life and active members, charter life and active members present, that have been present for at least 2 meetings in a row, you know, the meeting before and the meeting of. And that's it. And I understand where you're going, but what you're doing, if you say that that member is now a full-time member, they've been voted on, full-time membership, as of that day, that night, then you're denying them to vote in the next thing coming up.
So,
We can't go there.
They needed to be active for 2 meetings instead of the meeting that they're on, because they were inactive if they were here the meeting before.
exactly.
So they were on probation, so that shouldn't count for a active meeting.
So he should have been here for 2 more meetings before he actually could have been able to vote.
He should have been here for that meeting and another one before he should have been able to vote.
So you're saying they tallied the votes for him and gave him they appointed him as a member, then turned right around and let him vote it. Well, technically, he had only been to 1 meeting
As an active member.
as an active member. His vote shouldn't have counted.
Well, the thing about it is, like I said, probationary, if you're attending a meeting, probation or active, life or whatever, if you're attending the meetings, then he was present at the meetings. If that member was present at the meetings, then they could vote the next meeting or the next
They got
thing.
voted on to have the privilege to vote.
Yeah, they had the privilege to vote.
So did the other 2 get to vote? Did the other two didn't get to vote because you'd tallied that one's first and let him go ahead and vote it.
Random order, right?
Yeah.
So why do you not tally them all at the same time?
Because you gotta know which one of them voted for who. In other words, you know, you cast your ballots, if you do that, you have to, the way the process works, is like I said, they brought them up, they tell off who it was, what they done, performed and everything, what they accomplished, then a vote is cast on that person.
But they aren't voted on based on that.
Then it's tallied up at the end of that voting deal, and the simple majority is what goes. If they make the active membership at that time, they can vote in the next thing coming up.
What were the vote counts on the members who didn't make it?
We'd have to pull that back up. I'm not really sure at the time.
Okay. Were any of the people who voted no on these members, are any of them willing to say why?
I don't know who voted no.
You don't know about
It's
secret
secret
ballot.
ballot. All we got is a piece of paper that says yes or no.
That's all you got.
You take a tally of who's eligible to vote before the meeting, before you take the vote.
Right, no, I understand.
And then you go through and collect, and then there you are. Now, you had a question.
After this meeting, to change any of this, are you gonna do anything, or do we need to get the paper filled out? You said it had to be drawn up and stuff. Do we need to do that? or-
That has to be done inside the squad itself.
So yours can do that?
Yeah, we have to do
squad
that,
itself.
yeah.
Are you going to do it?
All I can is
It's
do
been
is,
wrong and voted on.
yeah, all I can do is voice concerns of the public and say, hey, we need to look at changing this. Now, whether, I can't force it to be changed.
Yeah, we understand that.
Right.
No, I mean, I'm just one. It takes a majority to force it.
I don't understand, if you live in this community and Jellicoe is your home, how could you do this and not want younger generation to start in on this?
I agree 100%. I like to have as many younger people on as I can get. Love it. I mean, because like you said, like everybody said, I'm old, I really don't want to, I'd like to be able to step back a little bit and just
Hand it off.
sort of mentor what I've got in front of me and make it work for me.
Well, the majority of your squad obviously doesn't want what's best for the squad, where they would want you mentoring our youth to take over one day. Obviously you don't have enough members here today. How many of these people that are here today are actually active members that voted the other night? Okay, so not even your majority's here tonight that voted. So obviously, they don't have the concern that we have for the community.
They got 19 people showing up for a meeting and 2 showing up for a brush guard. And so, folks, I don't want you gonna work hard, just come to the members.
Okay, out of the 19 that was here the other night, how many in the last, 6 months? Is that how long the probation period is? Has actively done something besides attending the meetings? Raise your hands.